Hello, friends. I hope y'all are having a fabulous time during our Moms, Mimosas, and Masterpieces virtual weekend retreat. I know I'm having a ton of fun seeing all your creativity. I love it so much. And I hope that our bonus featured projects come as a big surprise and also along with that a big wow factor for you. So what we would love to see is for you to get your points, you will need to subscribe and hit the bell for notification, both of those on each one of our YouTube channels. Along with that, you have access to watch these awesome bonus projects, which we know are going to inspire you and you are going to love them. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to point you down and I'm going to show you my project. If you haven't seen me online yet, you haven't joined our bingos, but you are just seeing this for the first time, I am Jen with Jen's Creative Stampers, and I am in North Carolina, and hopefully you can go check out my bio, but I've been stamping for a very long time. I love the creativity and the inspiration that we all share back and forth from me to you, as well as from you to me. So I am inspired by your work. So I want to see what you create. So post it in the group and let's have some more fun. Here we go. All right. So what we're going to do, here is my bonus project. I am calling this, let me get it set up here for you. It's an easel card, and isn't it so beautiful? So this is created with the Everyday You and Me, which was part of the add-on that you could have purchased in the beginning. If you still want your cut pieces, message me. Because of all the issues on Facebook, I'm not actually going to be posting links out there, at least not today, when I'm recording this. So message me. I'd be happy to go ahead and get it to you. It'll be all 9 projects. And these are the dies that go with it, as well as our fancy borders. And I love this bundle, as well as the dies that go with that. So we're going to show you how to make this card. And again, you can get the written PDF tutorial for $25. Just message me and I'll be happy to give you that link, okay? So here we go. Let's get started. Let me move everything aside. And we have all of our pieces, most of our pieces all cut and ready. This is called an easel pillar card is what I'm calling it, okay? And it is, let me show you the side view of it. It is actually created as an easel card with these 3 pillars here that kind of pop up. Then you take this off and you have this open view. Isn't that awesome? And how that stands up, can you see it? Pretty cool, right? But then it lays down flat and it closes, and this is how you mail it. So it mails very, very slim and very easy to pop it right back up and sit on somebody's mantle. And that's so special and so fun. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring my directions up and get started there. Let's see, where are they? Lots of windows open here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off to the side here. And we are going to start stamping. So you have all of your layers here. And this will actually be the front piece here that we will go ahead and stamp, and then we will die cut. Okay, so this is the, let me just get the orientation for you here. The 3.5 inch side at the top here will actually be the top of your card. Okay, so I'll just keep that in the right orientation. We will be pulling out our pretty peacock. We will be pulling out our Lost Lagoon, and I've got wild wheat somewhere. There we go. Okay, So let me go ahead and just start with this front piece, and we can go ahead and start creating that, and we'll start having fun. Okay, so first of all, you're going to pull out your pretty peacock, and you are going to be starting with the fancy borders. And the stamp specifically that we're looking for is this long one here. I lay it down. Now you can get the longer, hopefully you guys can see this in the window. Let me pull that up. Yeah, okay. So you can get this longer one here. Let me grab mine. Or you can just use whatever you have available, right? I'll go with the diagonal here on that one. And then I'm just going to ink it up with my pretty peacock. I love peacock. Anybody who knows me, my logo is a peacock feather. And I just love the teals and the greens and the blues. I love purple too. So super fun. So when you go ahead and stamp this, you're going to stamp it knowing that you're going to be die cutting that edge. So this is going to kind of go off the page a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So you're just going to stamp it here on the edge. Give it some firm pressure and pull up on that. And then what we're going to do is cap this. Take our Lost Lagoon. And these really, I love this little heart that's in here. I'm just going to take another block. And I'm going to stamp that. One on each side. You can actually stamp the sentiment first, which may be a better idea. I'll show you why. So if you're doing this with me right now, take a minute, load up your sentiment that says a little hello with a lot of love, and you're going to do it in wild wheat, okay? Now you want to center this right in the middle of this. You know what? That is kind of crooked, but we're going to roll with it. Right in the middle there, along that line, okay? Isn't that pretty? You probably won't even be able to tell it's crooked after I'm done. So all is good. I think I'm good with that. Okay, so ideally you're going to stamp the sentiment first and then the hearts, but you see it worked out just fine either way. Then you're going to take your fancy border dies. Now I love these. They're gorgeous. They are fancy, but I really, really love these. And I'm just going to lay this out here. You can go ahead and tape it down if you want. I taped it kind of close. It may actually kind of go over that. It's okay. And then I took this awesome heart die and I just went across the top there. You can pick wherever you would like it to go. Let me get my mini boss. And that way you can lay it out, see exactly where it's going to go. And again, this should fit just fine in my mini boss. And put it right in there, line it right back up so my hearts are straight. Now, for me, I tried to get where the hearts were not actually running off the page. It was actually the dot that was running off the page. I don't know that it matters, but we'll just run it through, see what we get, and we're going to go with it. Okay, so here we go. And what we ended up with, first of all, we're going to get some really cool hearts. Can you see how those dots were off the page there instead of the hearts? I particularly like that better. So there we go. We have our piece, and that is our front. Now, I'm going to recommend that you probably keep these cute little hearts and these dots. I just kind of just kept them on my table, and you can add them to your other projects very easily. Okay. All right. So that's off to the side for now. And then what we're going to do is we are going to stamp. I'll show you these inside pieces. These are 2 pool party pieces, and I use the stickers that actually came in your kit. So you can use those also, or you can go ahead and stamp and do different items, different things with yours as well. So you've got options. So here's a leaf pattern. I really love the leaves. I'm just going to replicate what I've done, doing in some pretty peacock. Here's a dot, it's trying to escape. And I'm going to do this one over here. I just think it's really pretty. And then, are you guys loving this virtual retreat? I'm having a blast. It is so much fun. Bingo has been awesome. And I love my friends Lisa and Ro. They're amazing. And I hope you do too. I hope you're having a fun time. All right, so I'm going to get my Everyday You and Me out, and I'm going to get the So Much Joy stamp and my Wild Wheat. Just literally tee that up there. And I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. Give it some pressure. There we go. All right. And then we will also get our happy out of the Everyday You and Me. And I'm going to do that probably at a diagonal here. Let me get that up. And that's going to be in Pretty Peacock. Okay. So we're just getting all of these right in order. And then you have a, what is this called? Something notes. You guys probably know what it's called. It's already been die cut for you. Okay. So you need to make sure you don't do it upside down like I just did. And this is happy. So we're going to literally stamp this closer to the top because this is going to go in between our layers of our pillars that we're going to create here. Okay, so just like that. And then make sure you're cleaning your stamps. So you're cleaning it off. I always have to put mine away because if I don't, guess what? I lose them. I'm terrible with that. So there we go. Let me keep this out. So this will be here. Now you should have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet of basic white. And literally what that is going to be for is for you to go ahead and stamp all of your flowers and your stems and or your leaves rather, right? So you will need that. And so you can have a stamp off piece of paper. Mine is really nice and pretty. You can see I use it and abuse it. It's fine. So I'm going to bring that up here. And I'm going to start with my Wild Wheat. You may choose to also use one of your foam mats here. And this is a great way to use it. Okay. On the photopolymer stamp. So we're just going to stamp those. Let me bring this on top. Let me make sure you can see me because I am not watching the camera. Yes, you can see me. I can even bring this in a little bit. Let me try to zoom in so y'all can see me better. Okay. So again, I'm just going to stamp off and then stamp on here. And it kind of gives you like a varied kind of look. It's fine. I'm good with it. Then I'm going to go to the next smaller one. I'm going to stamp off again here. And you just want to do several. It's not, you may not use them all. But then again, I mean, the whole retreat weekend, you may use them. So when I'm doing it, I think it's just smart to kind of just do it upright, right? So then I have another, the next smaller one. I am going to actually do something different. Go in Lost Lagoon, stamp off, do that one, do that again. That kind of looks like Pool Party. I think it's so pretty. I don't know what happened there. There's a line on that one. Let's try again. Probably my stamp off. Okay, that's fine with me. And then clean it. I'm gonna lastly do the smallest. I'm gonna stamp off and do, ooh, I love that. That's my favorite. Don't y'all love that? So pretty. Okay. There's that. And then I'm going to take those little teeny tiny dots. See, is that the smaller one? You've got this one, this one, this one. I got the medium sized one. Here's the really tiny one. I'm going to get that out here. Got some ink on that. Let me wipe it off. Okay. These are the medium ones. Probably go in there. Well, and then here. Kind of like those a little darker. I'm going to do small ones in there. Let's do them in a full-fledged peacock. Yeah, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty. And then I'll do this one. And then you can even, if you want, if you like those, you can get the big one, which it looks like I have it on a block here. I'm going to do it in this stamped off Lost Lagoon. Kind of didn't really show up much, did it? There. There. It's fine. You may or may not like it. You don't have to do it. Whatever. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to bring in my leaves. And I particularly love those in a full-on peacock. Now there's a left and a right. I don't know if you knew that or not, but there is a left and a right, and I think I only have the one side on the block, but I'm going to change it up. Do two of each one, and that way we've got some variety. I'm going to do them all in peacock. I like it. And there we go. Okay, so once you go ahead and get those all stamped the way you want them, fill the sheet, cut them out, die cut them, and then you're good to go. So what you can do, I'm going to die cut mine on this recorded video, and you can go ahead and choose to speed it up and speed right past it, which may be a really good idea. So let me bring in my Big Boss, and then I will actually do that. Okay, so I'm just going to load this up. You're still watching me, all is good. I'm just going to line these all up here. So I've got the largest one, I've got the medium one. Getting these lined up sometimes are a little bit of a challenge, I found. And then the teeny one is right here. I love these, so pretty. And then here's the next to largest. And then we also have this one. Let's do this one first. There's that. And then here's the other side. Okay, now if you want, you can also go ahead and stamp up the rose. We didn't do the rose and we didn't do the leaves, but I actually have some of those, so you can go ahead and stamp and die cut those if you want. But it's really, really fast when you do it this way and just run it through, right? Just load the page up, do them all together, and then you're good, right? So let me just keep taking these off. This is the benefit of a video that is pre-recorded. You can just speed right past those pieces that you are familiar with that you don't need to watch. All right, so here's this one. Lining all these back up. Just leave that one on there. That is too close. I can't run that one through. And then this one is also too close. I'm gonna have to wait on those. This one I can do. I think it goes right there. Nope. You know what? It's okay. Wherever it goes, I think I'm good with it. That's it. Okay, so let's run those through, make sure we're on the right lines. This is a really awesome card, and I hope you guys really like it. All right, let's get all of these off that are already die cut. There's that. Here's the other leaf. And I love the colors too. Like, I think they're super, super pretty. All right, so we only have just a few left here. There's this one. Let me get it right in there. And then we've got this one. Nope, that one's already done. This one. I do find it's easier just to batch cut these. These leaves are done. And then we've got this guy. And we'll just have to run one more time. And then we are golden. There it is. That's the right groove on that one. Okay. Here we go. And again, a tip for you whenever you go to do your rows, you will want to use your markers instead of your ink pad, because I will show you. I've got one cut out for you. It's really hard to actually stamp it on your ink pad with the two colors that you've got. Okay. All right, so that was the hardest part. If you are fast forwarding, stop. Let's watch, let's finish watching. Okay, so here's our card. So we have the beautiful front, and we have the inside components already die cut and ready to go. And we also have all the other elements already cut in your kit for you. You just have to cut the designer series paper, and you are going to take your, this piece is layers. We'll tell you. This is layer 7, the gray granite. This is layer 8, and it specifically tells you, now you can layer it this way or this way, whichever you want. You know what, I might do it that way. Why not? And you can just layer that down however it fits your fancy. Okay, so that's that piece. You've got, going according to the directions here, you have the card front, which is this Lost Lagoon, and you are going to layer it this way and this way. We're going to use our bone folder and burnish all those score lines. Okay, so easy. And as you can see, the piece here is going to flip backwards, and then this is going to come this way. So hopefully you can get the visual. This is going to be the flat side where your pillars are going to go. This is going to align here, just giving you some layout. I'm a big advocate of lay it out before you get it down. And that way it just makes more sense and you can kind of get a visual of it. Okay, so this will be our actual card front, and I'm going to add adhesive. This is layer 3, your designer series paper, which you're going to cut yourself, and then you're just going to layer that down flat. Okay, now to go ahead and make sure I'm getting my bearings correct, I told you a tail. It's actually going to be like this, and this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. Again, this is layer number 2. This is layer number 1. All right. You are going to glue that down only to there, right? So the best way to do that is to add your adhesive. If you like liquid glue, great. If you like Seal Plus or Seal or even double-sided tape, like you can do tear tape. You can see I didn't do a lot of glue. I want to leave it to where it doesn't, I want to make sure it doesn't get messy on me, right? But I love the liquid adhesive because it gives me that time to move it around and make sure that my sides are straight exactly how I want it. So that starts your easel card. Can you see it, how it's coming together now? Super easy. And then what we're going to do, we said this piece goes here. We've got, this is going to be our front. These are going to be our pillars. We're going to score those together. And these are going to go right inside. Now, when you redo this card on your own, you can actually make these designer series paper. You can still do it. Or you can add the pool party base and do your designer paper on top of it. You don't have to stamp it like what we did. So you've got options. But what I do recommend is that you keep it flat because there's a lot of height in this card and you don't need dimensionals necessarily, even though you can dimensional some of your elements. You don't want a ton of dimension in this, okay? It's a really cool card on its own without adding all the bulk, right, when we send it through the mail. Okay, so there we go. Now this piece is the gray granite that we actually added the layer on a minute ago. And you're just, again, going to glue that down flat. And we're going to put it right up against that score line just like we normally would, right? And then what we're going to do, we're going to wait on the front, actually. We're just going to hold off to make sure we get what we want. Your layers here, your pillars, let me put that off to the side. You've got 3 of them, okay? Now, I scored one of them. We're going to bring our score blade in, our cutter, paper trimmer. And I've got this down in your directions. You're going to score it 4 times. And I figured I should wait and do this with you. And so literally I use the right side of my paper trimmer. And then, oops, that was the wrong score. That was the wrong score mark. So make sure you're following the directions. And then I flip it around and do the last score line. Okay, so you can do the 3 on the right side over here, and the last one, flip your paper and line it up. Let's do it again. So I've got the first one here on that one. Second one is here. Third one, and again, these are all in your instructions. It's layer 5 that you're doing. Then you flip your paper around and you line it up on the 2-inch on that side, okay? So that is how you do those. And then literally, let me do the one I screwed up. So you're going to burnish all of these score lines here. No one will ever know I screwed that up. And it becomes like a little pillar like this, okay? So what you're going to do, is, again, I use liquid glue. I don't use a lot. I kind of spread it around. I try to get it to the edges as best I can. You can use tear and tape if you're more comfortable. It's totally fine. But the idea is that you get it to where it just matches in the score. You can even fold it down and get it flat so that it gives a really nice, even match together. Okay, so I recommend that. So you just do that on all 4 of these. Now you can see I'm not burnishing. You can, you probably should, but for time, I'm just gonna put them together, and then I'm just going to add my adhesive very lightly and carefully. Do you guys like fun folds? I love fun folds. I love them. You can see I want to make sure that it goes flat because I got to make sure that my card is folding flat when I close it up. So that is super, super important. I try to put it together first before I glue it down to see which side is going to be best, because we all know we don't score exactly every single score. So you want to make sure that it meshes well together. But this card does look complicated. It's really not. Super, super easy. So I'm going to fold that down. And then I'm going to fold it down this way and give it some of that time to dry. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is bring our card front back in. Now you can see on some of these, let's get you in the light. Can you see that? Like, it didn't really match up very well. That's the bottom. All of these pieces where they come together, that is our bottom. So I'm going to, especially that one that I screwed up, well, I can actually put that at the top. We're going to get it covered. The other thing is you do want to do your seams not only on the bottom, but facing the back. I don't know why that just seems to work better, but it does. So I just do it that way. Every time I make this card, that's how I do it. So I put it on the bottom and make sure that it's in the back, facing the back of the card. And that's how it's going to get laid out. Okay, so now I know I'm going to put glue on this side. I'm only doing glue on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to match it right to the front and sides of this card. All right, you can see I'm careful to match all of these up. You can even fold it flat. Again, another reassurance that this card's going to fold nice and flat in the mail, right? So, I screwed that one up really bad. Let's do this side. All right, we'll get that towards the back. And I'm going to just put it right up against the other pillar, not glue the 2 pillars together. Very, very important to not glue the 2 pillars together. So I'm laying them down and I'm folding them flat up against one another, making sure they're butting together. You with me? And then they sit back up, okay? Again, it's just a matter of assembly and putting it together the way that it's going to lay flat the best. Okay, so I'm going to add glue to the 3rd pillar and put this down here. Give it a minute because it's liquid glue, and then I'm going to fold it down, giving it some of that firm pressure, and then bring it right back up. Okay, now in the directions you'll see that I actually suggested putting this piece on after you do your pillars. You can do it either way. It's whatever you want. But the important thing is that you don't glue these pillars together, that you actually have room to put between, because you're going to stick this down in there. All right, so you're going to fill some of these real pretty flowers and things. And I have some greenery and leaves and other things that we're going to put in there and just kind of build our pretty little bouquet, our Mother's Day bouquet, right? You're going to send this to a special lady in your life, someone who has brought you a lot of joy, who has inspired you, or somebody else, right? It could be anybody. So again, we stamped close to the top on this, what is this called? Textured Notes dies, because we are going to stick this down in here. Now I have it in the third pillar, right? And that's how it's going to go down. So it's going to kind of sink down a little bit. But before we actually do that, you should have 4 pieces of designer paper. Now I didn't cut mine down. I will do it. These are the layer 6 in my instructions, and you will see that they are pretty specific. And we're going to cut those off. Now, one is going to go right here in the front, right? Just like this. My prototype, I did not do that. So I just changed my instructions. So let me just add these before we start building out those pillars. Just a little dab will do here. Okay. And we're going to cut each one and layer them. And I actually have them to where they follow the pattern. Unless I put that upside down, which I might have. Sure did. I think I did. Let's see. Nope, I didn't. It's all the same. Okay. Good. I'm actually following my own directions. Woohoo! All right, so we're gonna cut this down, trim it down slightly because I didn't do it when I cut them originally. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive. I'm just gonna do them one at a time. Again, these 3 are gonna go on top, on the tops of each of the little pillars. Not so pretty. I love gray granite. I think it's a great neutral. And I also love basic beige. I don't know about you guys, but if you haven't played with basic beige yet, I love it. It's one of my favorite neutrals. All right, and again, just kind of add a little bit of adhesive, not to seep out the sides. Here we go. Lay that on top. Pretty, pretty. All right, and then the last one. Here we go. And again, this is just a suggestion on how to put this together. You can do whatever your heart feels happy with. You can even use a different designer paper. You can do whatever you want. So that's what's so fun about this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now I'm going to start building out these little pillars, right? I'm going to put the glue on the back side and only at that base kind of area. All right. And I'm going to pull it apart and I'm just going to stick it down till I think, you know what, I think I like it there. The main thing you want to make sure is when you lay these layers flat, they do not go above that score line. That is imperative, because if it does, you're going to fold your card down to mail it and you're going to be squished, right? Everything's going to be a hot mess. So you can just go ahead and start adding all your elements. Now you've got a full sticker sheet here. You can see that I've used some of these. You can actually take some of these stickers, you can actually unstick them by sticking them to your pants or whatever you want, right? And I'm going to take one of my leaves and just stick it on a dimensional. Like I said, you can use some dimensionals here in the middle, but I don't recommend a lot. So I'm going to use 2 on this sticker, which I think is super, super pretty. Isn't that so pretty? Get that off my finger. So we're going to do it this way. Kind of do it with that. All the colors blend together so beautifully. And then we're just going to literally start kind of building this out, right? So you can even put it here. You can do whatever you want. So I'm just going to quickly add some of these on just to show you. And again, I usually put the adhesive on the back and then kind of add them in there. I lay them out a lot of times before I glue them down, which that's just what I teach. If you've taken any of my classes, that's what I do. Even like them up here. Again, as long as it's flat, I'm good. That's beautiful. And can even add some maybe behind here and front. I don't know, just like whatever you want, right? Whatever makes you happy. Okay. Let's do one down here. Not to hang over the edge too much. All right, I think that's good. You guys can continue decorating yours however you would like to do it. But then we're going to fold all of that flat and we are going to come in with the front of our card here, which we have our prototype over here. And we are just going to adhere this on dimensionals. And if you have the minis, you can certainly pull those out also. If you don't have mini dimensionals, what you can do is I recommend that you, for this top part here, use the edge of your dimensional sheet. Those are already cut in half, and those will kind of nest right up in there. You probably will need 3 doubles. What I mean doubles is I cut 2 into 1 strip, okay? And then literally just lay that down. And if you want to get fancy, let me look at the front again. You can always wrap the ribbon around. You can always add all kinds of different fun things on the front. There we go. Yeah, see, we could actually do that. Take your ribbon that came in your kit and unravel it. And I'm just going to wrap it from the back right to the front. See if it's going to fit here underneath. Now again, this is just an option for you. And I'm going to layer this where I want it. I love that leaf kind of showing on the front. And then I am just going to tie this here. See, it's just another variation. And tie it kind of off to the side. Wrap it around. This ribbon is fabulous. I was kind of sad that it's being retired, but it will tie very well. And then you can adjust it. And it's got the bling in it, which always makes my heart happy. I love the bling. I love the sparkle, if anybody did not know. And so then just take your snips and get your tails however long or short you want. And you've got that. You can move it up a little bit. You can even take a little mini glue dot here and actually attach it right underneath where you tied it to kind of keep it in that place, right? So it doesn't scoot around and move, and then you don't lose your element to your card, the beautiful hearts and all of that. So you've got that, and then you take your beautiful gold tinsel gems, or what are we calling these? Petal pink and pretty peacock foiled gems, and you are going to add more bling, of course. Let me get some petal pink in here. I love the petal pink, and it goes so beautifully with all of this. Okay, and I'm just going to put it down here. You can also add it inside if you wanted. I might just do that. One there, petal pink one over here, and that, my friends, is your pillar easel card. Do you love that? I hope you do. Let me bring you back up here, and if you have any questions, post it in the comments. One question that may come up is, Jen, there's not a lot of room to write. Well, for me, that's by design. I will put my note right here, but if you like to have a little bit more room to write, you could actually add some basic white down here, and the basic white would actually measure 4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. You could actually add some basic white from your stash and put it right in there. And you have a fabulous card that someone will be so happy to receive. So I hope that you have enjoyed this fun bonus project. I hope you're loving the weekend retreat with all the amazing projects and inspiration. Again, message me if you have any questions. I want to see what you're making and creating. Don't forget, subscribe and hit the bell for notification on Jen's Creative Stampers, on Create with Ro, and Stampin' Create with You with Lisa Bauer. Okay? And then you get all your points. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.